Larry Schottenstein, Remax Ravilli. Welcome to Real Life Real Estate. So here's a story I recently received from an agent, okay? So the listing agent receives multiple offers. Properties listed around $300,000. 2 offers around $225,000 to $230,000. So what becomes a really important issue is the coverage of the appraisal gap. Who's willing to play? So buyer agent number two starts to give some pushback. Says things like, hey, the home's going to appraise, don't worry about it. And when the listing agent asks for about down payment information, how strong they are, whatever, the buyer agent is giving pushback again about financial information being confidential. So starting to get some pushback, okay? Now the listing agent also asks, hey, would you be willing to do a no remedy offer? Buyer agent number two also gives some pushback and is polite about it, but is still giving pushback, okay? And gives wrong advice and wrong, a wrong understanding about their right to terminate. Meaning, she thought if they did a no remedy, they would be waiving their right to terminate, okay? So the listing agent is asking me for my advice, what to do. So here it is. Don't educate the agent. Matter of fact, the agent is doing you a favor. They're broadcasting that they're going to be difficult to work with. So if you got those 2 offers and they're relatively close, I'd be focusing on the buyer agent number 1, who is not being difficult, who is sharing information, who is collaborating with you. The other problem with buyer agent number 2 is they're making their issues their clients' issues. What do you think are the chances that agent already discussed with them, hey, listen, just in case in a multiple offer situation, the listing agent asks us about your down payment amount, I should say, hey, that's confidential and we shouldn't discuss it. The chance of that is about 0, okay? So I know now that that agent is tipping their hat to how they work. And I'm always fearful of agents making their issues the client's issues, not everybody else's. Our job as agents is not to make decisions for our client. Our job is to make our client an informed decision maker. And in a multiple offer, it's not just about which deal's best, but which deal closes with the most certainty and the least amount of stress, and the most likely one to close at the deal that was being presented. And as a quick aside, when someone tells me not to worry about appraisal and they don't cover the appraisal gap, disingenuous. Like, hey, if it's not to be worried, that means it would be easy for you to cover it. Shouldn't be a big deal, right? And if they say they don't cover it, then it's like, oh, I guess it is a big deal. Remember, don't pay attention to what people say, but what they do.